Hi, happy people. This is our lesson on scientific notation for Algebra 1. So we have learned all the rules for working with exponents that deal with multiplying, dividing, negative exponents, and exponents that are zero. So now we're going to use exponents a little differently. We're going to use them to write really big numbers or really small numbers in a nice fashion so that they are easier to use. So before you write this down, I'm just going to quick write what 2 million and 5,000s are in scientific notation. So in scientific notation, we write numbers so that they are between 1 and 10 times 10 to a power. So 2 million would be 2 times 10 to the sixth power. So it's a big number, so it has a positive exponent. And 0.5 thousandths is a small number, it's less than 1. So we're going to get 5 times 10 to the negative 3. So we're going to see numbers that are between 1 and 10 and have times 10 to an exponent. So I'm going to pause now so you can go ahead and write this in your notebook, and you're ready again, hit play. So like I said, scientific notation, we're just going to have a number between 1 and 10, like 2 and 5, times 10 to a power. So if it's a big number, it'll be a positive exponent. If it's a small number, it'll be a negative exponent. All right, so here's what we're going to do to write numbers in scientific notation. So I am going to pause, so you can pause the video, write it down, and when you're ready, hit play again. So to write numbers in scientific notation, we're going to start off with either big numbers or numbers that are smaller than 1. And so we're going to move our decimal point so that our decimal makes a number that is between 1 and 10. So we can have 1 as our first decimal point. We can have 2, we can have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. You cannot have 10. So you need to move your decimal so that it is after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. We're going to count the number of places we move to do that, and that's going to become our exponent on our 10. And if we started with a big number, we're going to have to move our decimal point to the left. So we're going to get a positive number. And if we start with a number smaller than 1, we're going to have to move our decimal to the right. And so our power is going to be negative. And that's going to make more sense with our examples. So here are our examples. So we're going to write our numbers in scientific notation. So we're going to start with 0.0000574. So I got to move my decimal point. Right now it's at 0. So the number I have in front of the decimal point is 0, which is not between 1 and 10. So I'm going to move it. And if I move it once, I still only have 0. If I move it twice, still at 0. 3 times, I'm still at 0. 4 times, I'm still at 0. That 5th time, though, I get 5, and 5 is between 1 and 10. So I have 5.74 times 10, and I moved it 5 times. And because I moved, so that's going to be my exponent. And because I moved it to the right, and I started with a number that's less than 0, it's going to be negative 5. So this in scientific notation is 5.74 times 10 to the negative 5th. All right, for the second one, we have a big number, 267,500,000. Our decimal point is over here. So I'm going to move it until I get to a number that is between 1 and 10. So the first 5 moves, I had 0. Right now I have 267, 26. Oh, move it here, I have 2. So I have 2.675. And if you have only zeros, you can cut the zeros off. If you had any other number in between, you'd have to keep going. And how many times did I move that decimal point? Well, I moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So this is going to be 2.675 times 10 to the 8th. And because I moved it to the left, and it was a big number, that is going to stay a positive 8. So this 267,500,000 in scientific notation is 2.675 times 10 to the 8th. All right, we are going to go the other way. So we're going to write numbers from scientific notation back in their standard form. So I'm going to pause for a second so you can pause the video and write this in your notebook. Just hit play when you're done. All right, so to write numbers in standard form and starting in scientific notation, if the power is positive, we're going to move the decimal the same number of places as the exponent to the right. So we're going to make the number bigger. So if it's like times 10 to the 5th, we're going to move it 5 times that way. If our power is negative, we need to make our number smaller. So we're going to move our decimal to the left, and we're going to add zeros as we go, either after the number or before the number. And that's going to make more sense here with our examples. All right, so here are 2 examples for writing numbers in standard form. So we have 7.0234 times 10 to the 5th. Remember, a positive power means we started off with a big number. So that means we are going to want to move our decimal to the right 5 times. So if I have 7.0234 and I move it 5 times, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And to move it a 5th time, I'm going to have to add a 0 at the end. So our answer is going to be 702,340. So that's our answer there. So I moved my decimal point to the 5 times, and when I ran out of numbers, I started adding zeros at the end. For 1.685 times 10 to the negative 6th, so I have 1.685. I need to move my decimal to the left 6. So I need to make the number smaller. So I'm going to do it once and twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So I have to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. Can't see the last 0. But if you could, so I have 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, and then I have 1, 6, 8, 5. So I had to move this 6 times. In order to do that, I had to add 5 zeros out front. So again, notice my negative power makes a number that is much smaller than 1, and my positive power makes a number that is much, much bigger than 1. So hopefully this helps you write numbers in scientific notation and in standard form. I hope you're all happy, I hope you're all healthy, and I hope you all have a great day.